Welcome, everybody, to the second of our Inspirational Spotlight series, designed to highlight real-life stories of our members who, through their actions, clearly express the values of the AAN. Once again, I'm Dr. Jim Stevens, President of the American Academy of Neurology, and it gives me great pleasure to be able to speak today with Dr. Korak Sarkar. Welcome, Korak.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. I want to tell you a little bit about Dr. Sarkar first, that he completed a postdoctoral fellowship in biodesign at Northwestern University and joined the Ochsner Neurosciences Institute in 2015 and Innovation Ochsner in 2018. He is on the neurology staff at the New Orleans Veterans Administration Hospital. Earlier this year, Dr. Sarkar really focused his many talents in an effort to try and address the issue of the shortages of PPE and hand sanitizer as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. Dr. Sarkar, I want you to please share your inspiring story, the motivations behind it, and perhaps a few lessons learned as a result of your experience.
Absolutely, and I really appreciate this opportunity. And I first and foremost want to thank the Academy for the foundation they laid with their leadership programs, and particularly PALF, that really equipped me to adapt to the situation here in New Orleans. That kicked off what happened to be my birthday in Louisiana. COVID Day was March 16th, and I'm a neurologist, and during that biodesign period, always been intrigued by neuroimaging and was struck by how difficult it was to interpret neuroimaging, and use that interest to learn about 3D printing and seeing if there was other ways to visualize complex imaging. And over the last 7 years, I've really invested in that interest and started a lab to 3D print and do anatomical modeling, and grew a team with that. And it was always a struggle to justify and validate what the value was there. And then March 16th occurred, and a lot of the lessons and really skills learned from 3D printing, we pivoted and started looking to address the need in personal protective equipment. New Orleans was early, and it was one of the hardest hit. And it was also at a time when the global healthcare supply chain really was under an immense amount of strain. Basically, there was an order of magnitude more demand and almost zero supply all of a sudden during a pandemic. And we really started to see how we could address that. And so I literally Googled 3D printing and COVID the day before my birthday and found some files called STLs, which is what you put into a 3D printer. And we started prototyping, and with the Infrastructure Innovation Ochsner, which is Ochsner Health's innovation arm, we had infrastructure that allowed us to rapidly prototype. And then it's one thing to create 10 face shields. This was definitely a expedited but professional endeavor. It wasn't a DIY. To take 10 face shields and go to 100 and 1,000, that took a lot of coordination, a lot of people. Our local ecosystem, we reached out to people that had not been in healthcare before, but were able to and had the tools to support going from 10 face shields to 100,000. This is, in a nutshell, the journey that's only been 3 months, but feels like 3 years.
Thank you so much for sharing your incredible story with us, Korak. Your efforts tie so closely to our values, particularly the value of leadership, where we try and guide, inspire, and empower members and patients to make a positive difference in their lives and the lives of others in the neurologic community. So until next time, please, everybody, stay safe and stay strong.